Canelo, His Excellency has named you and Terence Crawford as one of the top 5 fights that he wants to see this year. Is that a fight that you're considering now?
We'll see.
After the surprising meeting that happened in London today, even the naysayers have now agreed that we're soon going to witness the biggest fight in boxing. The Canelo and Crawford fight is undoubtedly going to happen in 2025, as plans have begun already. Canelo Alvarez met Turki Al-Sheikh today and said there's a big chance a fight between him and Terence Crawford will happen. He says he's always looking to make the best deals. It's been Turki Al-Sheikh's hope to set up a fight between Alvarez and Crawford in 2025 because it's one of the biggest fights that could potentially be made in North America this year. It still remains to be seen if he can make that fight. Turki Al-Sheikh said he's been working on a fight for Terence Crawford in 2025. Crawford is recovering from an injury and starting to train again.
See, everything is possible. We'll see. We want to talk about it, sit down really well and figure out something.
I know you
Hence, Al-Sheikh wants to meet with Crawford in January to discuss the fight, just like he just met Canelo Alvarez. And he insists that he still hopes to organize a fight between Crawford and unified 3-belt super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez in 2025. He will see if he can do so in the next month or two. Crawford, 37, has been pushing for the fight with Canelo, but he may have to look in another direction if Al-Sheikh can't set up a fight with the Mexican star. There are the 154-pound champions, Bakram Murtazaliev and Sebastian Fundora, who would be ideal for World Boxing Association junior middleweight champion Crawford to fight in a unification.
I thought he was kind of a lose-lose situation for you. Do you think he's too small to compete with you?
No, he's a good fighter. He's a very good fighter. He's a smart fighter.
I think he's injured now. We were planning on having something with him. I will discuss it with him maybe in January, said Turki Al-Sheikh to Fight Hub TV, talking about Terence Crawford. I saw him last week in Hamburg. He said he has a little injury, and he's starting to rehab now, and he's training again. He's one of our plans to see him fight in 2025. We hope. He wants this fight. So why not, said Turki, when asked if the goal is for a fight between Crawford and Canelo Alvarez next year. We will see in the next month or 2 months. Let's see, said Turki about his possible negotiation with Canelo.
And I take everything seriously. But we'll see what happens.
Canelo, I hope you make it happen for us, because we want to see it.
Thank you.
This news comes after Crawford stepped up to 154 pounds last summer and beat Israel Madrimov for the WBA super welterweight title. That win made Crawford a 4-weight world champion. Now, he's willing to jump up 2 more weight classes to 168 pounds to face Canelo. Crawford wants to be the first fighter to beat Alvarez at super middleweight. Canelo didn't want to talk about Crawford before his recent fight with Edgar Berlanga. He won that bout by unanimous decision, keeping his World Boxing Council, World Boxing Association, and World Boxing Organization belts. The meeting between Canelo and Al-Sheikh is a big deal. Al-Sheikh has been a key player in most of the major boxing events over the past year. Their talk suggests the Crawford fight might be closer to happening.
Stuff about me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won. He went up and lost. So let's not do that.
Both fighters want to fight in the spring. If they're going to face each other, they'll need to agree soon. Turki could meet a roadblock with Crawford if he asks him to take on one of the killers in the 154-pound division like Bakram, Virgil Ortiz Jr., Charles Conwell, Erickson Lubin, or Serhii Bohachuk. After the hard time Crawford had against Israel Madrimov, he's not going to want to mix it with any of the other dangerous guys at 154. His size, skills, and power don't work for him in this weight class like it did at 147.
Making his own catch weight for years. Canelo fought a smaller Mayweather. Canelo fought a smaller...
Also, these are better fighters than the guys Crawford had been fighting since moving up to 147 in 2017. If you analyze Crawford's resume at welterweight, he really didn't fight anyone notable other than a washed-up Errol Spence and Sean Porter. Crawford, 37, has yet to say what he'll do if he can't get the fight with Canelo. We know that Terence's age and fighting at 154 against younger, stronger, and bigger fighters will eventually result in him losing. He almost lost his last fight, his debut at 154 against World Boxing Association junior middleweight champion Israel Madrimov on August 3rd last year.
Amir, not Amir Khan, but Amir Khan.
Yeah, he did.
Amir
He did at
Khan.
155. Yeah.
Amir Khan. You know, he fought so.
It's always a chance there. We'll see. But there's always a chance here to make the best deals, and there's always the chance, said Canelo Alvarez to Ring Magazine when asked if a fight between him and Terence Crawford is possible next. I think it's going to be another good fight. Both fighters are good fighters, so I think both have a chance to win, said Canelo on the February 22nd rematch between undisputed light heavyweight champion Artur Beterbiev and Dimitri Bivol in Riyadh. The former division world champion Crawford wants to challenge Canelo for his unified super middleweight titles this year. He thinks he's got the talent to overcome his size disadvantage. Crawford thinks he's got enough size and skills to defeat Canelo.
Jermell Charlo, and I'm pretty sure he didn't make as much money with all those guys except Mayweather. Even
the Mexican star is showing signs of slowing down in his last two fights against Edgar Berlanga and Jaime Munguia. These are fighters that Canelo would have likely knocked out in 2021 and earlier, but was forced to go the 12-round decision to beat them. With Canelo and Crawford both hoping to fight in the spring, it is likely that they would want a fight to be agreed soon if it does take place. In an interview on Sway's Universe, Canelo states he is more than willing to face the four-weight champion if the money is right, but warns his rival that the contest is easy money if they do meet in the ring.
Do it.
Why not? Why not? I think Crawford don't get me wrong. He's a great fighter. But for me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight. For me, easy money. So if the money is right, I'm in.
I'm in. Why not? Don't get me wrong, he's a great fighter, but for me in my weight class, it's an easy fight. Easy money. If the money is right, I'm in. Because I don't like to fight guys like Crawford, because he moves a lot, and the fight is not that great. I saw in his last fight, and he doesn't move that much now. So if the money is right, I'm in right now. There are weight classes for a reason. Well, it looks like miracles do happen. After all this time and countless disappointments, it looks like boxing fans will get the fight they have been aching to watch. Only a few weeks ago, the reports of a possible 2025 fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford took over the internet.
even Berlanga right now, that he will with me, but yet and still, you know, he have all these excuses.
The internet has been going crazy ever since the reports started floating around, but we never got any official announcement regarding the same. However, it looks like the official announcement is not far away, as boxing insider Rick Glazer shared substantial information regarding the fight and gave every boxing fan something to cheer about in 2025. Glazer took to his X and revealed, being told by a very reliable source, that the Canelo-Crawford possibility has greatly increased in the last couple days. He revealed that the talks between both camps are progressing smoothly, and we can expect an official announcement pretty soon. Glazer further revealed that both camps are targeting either the May or September date.
I mean, because, you know, I don't like to fight guys like Crawford because he move a lot and the fight is not that great. I saw Crawford the last fight and he don't move that much now. So
If signed, no word if it would be May or September. The world awaits, wrote Glazer expectedly. Earlier reports suggested that Canelo Alvarez's side is targeting a Cinco de Mayo date, sometime around May. When a user further asked Glazer if he thinks the fight will be in Las Vegas, the matchmaker replied, "More than likely." While there is no information regarding the venue, reports have suggested that His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh also wants the fight to happen in Las Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena. Considering that the unified super middleweight champion has fought 5 of his last 6 matches in Las Vegas, this rumor does not seem too far-fetched.
Very surprised if that fight happens. I think His Excellency has been pushing that fight. It didn't seem like it was something that Canelo was really up for, to be honest. And like, when I've spoken to Canelo before about that,
While there still has not been any official announcement judging by Glazer's report, we can expect it in the coming days. It will be a huge deal, and even though it is still a rumor, the boxing world is excited about it. Not only fans, but even professional fighters and promoters want this match to happen and have shared their opinions on the dream fight. In a conversation with Fight Hype, Matchroom honcho Eddie Hearn predicted Canelo Alvarez as the winner of this clash. According to him, Crawford can't really come to fight. in that fight because he's at a massive, massive size disadvantage.
That fight, I think his kind of feeling is, when I beat Crawford, everyone's going to say I've beaten a 154 pounder. And he also, I think,
according to the British promoter, the weight limit would be too much for Terence Crawford to overcome at 168 pounds. Additionally, the huge power advantage that Canelo Alvarez holds over him will also prove costly. Andrade also had the same opinions on the fight. He told FightHub TV, "I like Terence Crawford. He's been a great friend, however. When it is about weight classes, that stuff is real. Canelo is a big bad wolf. I think Crawford has the skills, but when it comes to Saul getting shots and blocking his power shots, Canelo knows how to move too," and termed it as a losing battle for Crawford. While he believes that it will be an interesting and tough fight, Boo Boo Andrade thinks Canelo will ultimately be the winner. The World Boxing Council interim light heavyweight champion David Benavidez, who also wants a fight with Canelo Alvarez, shared his thoughts on the potential clash.
At his age as well, I don't think he wants to be fighting guys that are just moving all the time, and he wants people to come to fight. And Crawford can't really come to fight like that in that fight.
Benavidez also had the same ideas and referred to how Bud is already struggling at 154 pounds. Despite acknowledging Crawford's greatness, according to him, if Bud has to move up to 3 more weight classes to fight Canelo, he will be at a huge disadvantage. Crawford is a one-of-a-kind fighter, but weight classes must be respected. I'd give Canelo the edge, claimed Benavidez. While the whole boxing world is excited about the fight, experts believe that the result is predetermined. However, Terence Crawford boasts an exceptional record of 41-0 and has upset the odds many times before. So, these predictions do not take that much away from the fight.
Because he's at a massive, massive size disadvantage and he can't be standing in front of him. I don't think that fight will happen, but then when you think about it, what are the options for Canelo Alvarez?
Benavidez.
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to happen either. He's put...
One of the biggest bouts boxing can make, a mega event involving one of the sport's faces in Saul Canelo Alvarez, and one of its very best pound-for-pound talents in Terence Bud Crawford, maybe closer than ever. This is because Canelo appeared open to the fight when talking to a reporter on Saturday, the 11th of January, on the red carpet ahead of the Ring Magazine's relaunch and award ceremony in London. The event attracted some of the most important figures in the fight game, from boxing financier Turki Al-Sheikh to legends like Lennox Lewis, and its most prominent stars like Shakur Stevenson, Daniel Dubois, and of course Alvarez himself.
The likelihood of a fight with you and Terence Crawford, it would be one of the biggest in boxing.
We don't talking about about the fight. Me and Turkanash.
Canelo remains one of the biggest ticket sellers and pay-per-view generators throughout all combat sports. Since a loss to Dimitri Bivol in 2022, the Mexican fighter rebounded with 5 wins in a row over the likes of Gennady Golovkin, Jermell Charlo, and Jaime Munguia, among others. He has, though, attracted criticism for seemingly avoiding one of the biggest threats to his super middleweight world championship belts, as a super fight with David Benavidez continually fails to bear fruit. There are only a handful of opponents at best who can partner with Canelo to generate a pay-per-view event that perhaps breaks that mythical 1 million sales barrier in the US market, and one of those names is Crawford, who scored one of the most meaningful wins in the modern boxing era when he completely battered Errol Spence Jr. in 2023.
Know each other, and then we wanna see what happened.
And when do you want to get out next? I know you're here in London tonight. When are you going to be in a camp?
Huh?
When are you going to be in a camp? I know.
To now, Canelo has stayed relatively tight-lipped on whether he'd fight Crawford or not. It's always a chance there, he said on Saturday's red carpet. We'll see. We're here to make the best deals. There's always a chance. If Canelo and Crawford were to fight either Saturday, the 3rd of May, or 10th of May, 2 of the weekend dates closest to Cinco de Mayo, a key part of boxing's calendar, are open. But Canelo is perhaps waiting to see what happens with the outcome of a 22nd of February fight between light heavyweight rivals Artur Beterbiev and Dimitri Bivol.
Training camp in March.
Okay, so
at the beginning of the middle of the February or March, yeah.
Beterbiev beat Bivol in the first fight last year. Canelo may want dibs on Bivol next so he can attempt to score revenge in a rematch. Both fighters are good fighters, he said, commenting on next month's undisputed light heavyweight championship bout. I think both have a chance to win. It was a sensational 2024 with some of the biggest and best fights being made across all divisions, including 2 installments of Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk and Artur Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol.
Canelo. Man, yeah, we still alive.
Here we go. We got. Hold up, hold up.
Alal Sheikh has his eyes on a huge 2025 featuring a star-studded lineup of boxers. An instrumental figure in making the fights happen has been Saudi boxing chief Alal Sheikh, chairman of the General Entertainment Authority, who has handed the sport significant financial backing. Politics have been put to one side, with promoters working together so the biggest and best fights are being made globally. Riyadh season, a Saudi entertainment festival period, has been the destination for many of the fights, which have also landed at Wembley in the UK and the BMO Stadium in the US. Alal Sheikh is set to spearhead a campaign for more huge events.
Yeah, I can't rap. That's what I'm saying. So I gotta stick to what I know. I beat people up.
Oh, God.
I beat people up. You know what I mean?
The first huge card of the year lands on February 22nd, headlined by Beterbiev and Bivol's rematch, and also features Daniel Dubois and Shakur Stevenson. And Alal Sheikh wants to continue the momentum this year, and has named 5 fights he'd love to see before 2025 has come to a close. I want to see Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. I want to see, of course, Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua, he said on Frosh on Fighting. I want to see Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford, and I also want to see Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia in a rematch.
Crawford going to be able to bridge this weight gap?
Yeah, I don't think he can, in all honesty. I mean, he might not be able to bridge it on Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
one weight class.
68, yeah, but you're coming up from 35.
For Alexander Usyk, he will wait for the card of February. He has said he wants to fight 1 or 2 more fights, and I would like to see the Dubois rematch. Eubank Jr. and Ben are currently in negotiations over a showdown, but a breakthrough has yet to be made over the potential event which would likely be held in the UK. The pair were due to meet in October 2022, but the fight was cancelled after Ben failed a drugs test, but the rivalry has been huge ever since. Haney and Garcia have naturally been thrust together since their meeting in 2024, saw the latter dispatch the champion.
35, 40, 47, 54. Sooner or later, it's one too many. And 68 is definitely too many. But Crawford's brilliant. Like, he's a genius. He's a generational.
But he too failed a drugs test, and naturally it has led to widespread calls for the pair to do battle again. The heavyweight conundrum remains a key part of the sport, with Dubois calling out Usyk by clambering in the ring after his rematch win over Fury. Dynamite himself was unlucky against Usyk after a controversial low blow marred the event, but he was eventually stopped in 2023, although he wanted revenge. But the main event in 2025 could well be a huge clash between Joshua and Fury, 2 British heavyweights whose rivalry has captured the imagination for several years.
Great, so maybe he can find a way to do it, but I feel he'd be hugely outsized against Canelo Alvarez. Yeah. But you have to use your movement.
The pair both will need a rebuild after respective defeats, but could generate huge paydays with the fight likely to have huge commercial interest. And TalkSport host Spencer Oliver believes the pair should fight, with an opportunity to get themselves back in the world title mix. Listen, I think the winner of Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua puts himself back in the world title mix, Oliver said on the latest episode of Talk Boxing. I do believe that fight happens next, and the winner of that could get an opportunity. Let's say Alexander Usyk is now out of the picture if he sails off into the sunset or beats Daniel Dubois.
If you're Terence Crawford in that fight, the last thing you want to do is stand and trade. He'd be moving a lot in that fight, trust me. I'm not saying he'd be running, but he would be moving a lot. Of course, that's the way to beat him.
Yeah.
You are asking, is Daniel Dubois the next man to take the baton as the heavyweight king? Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua fight winner could still receive world title chance. The winner of Joshua versus Fury will have a great shot against Daniel Dubois. Just because he knocked AJ out, you can't say that will go again. And you can't write Fury off after his losses to Usyk. He could still very much be the second best heavyweight in the world right now.
On Canelo, is there anybody in the camp that would say, you're not ready for this?
That's a big boy. He's strong. That's a conversation. It's not just, oh man, you will whoop his ass.
Like yes, man type stuff.
I'm not worried about Canelo. I'm not thinking about Canelo. I'm just focused on Israel Majimov.
In a small way, is this a stepping stone to your dream fight?
I don't look at
What are your thoughts on the prospective fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez? Do you think Turki Alakshik will be able to successfully fix the biggest matchup? What are your thoughts on Terence Crawford jumping 3 weight from super welterweight to super middleweight to meet Canelo Alvarez? Who do you think will emerge victorious in the fight when it happens? Let's know your thoughts in the comment section. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.